Alright, let's move on to the painting part of this. I started doing, as you saw, I did the neck, got the base red on there, got that cleared, and primed the body out. And the other night I started doing white around the edges and got it all done, and I thought it was ready to go for the next coat, and had two pieces of sandpaper sitting next to me. I didn't pay attention to what grits I did. I was going to wet sand that down and grab too heavy a grit, and managed to do that. So that was dumb, but I did find out that these inks, these FW inks, they actually smooth out better with 4/0 steel wool than they do wet sanding. So I think I'm going to stick with that for now. So I'm going to put another coat all the way around this and get that nice and bright and white. And this is the inks that I'm using, Yellow Roundy FW inks, not paints. And this is their white. And excuse me, I'm still working on a tail end of a cold, but I started mixing that out with the 50-50 mix of the paint and alcohol, and that seems to work really, really nice, especially with the new fancy brush. That thing is beautiful, so comfortable, so smooth. So enough yakking. I'm going to put some paint in that bad boy, and we're going to get started. I figure I'd do a little bit around the edge here, and about the time I have to refill the cup, I'll call that enough for you guys to have seen, and finish that out, and then I'll go grab the neck and start the white on the headstock. As always, even if you pre-mixed it already and you know what you got, always do a test spraying. So I'm going to see where we're at here, and you can see where I drew the headstock out and wanted to see what the lines are going to look like and see how good I could freehand it. I freehanded all those, but you can see the edges aren't as sharp, so I am going to end up taping off the lines, especially for the headstock there. But the inks dry pretty quick. So it's pretty much what we're going to do. I may have this a little bit too much air, so I'm going to cut that back just a touch. And let's see what we're running here. Probably run about 7 psi, I believe, roughly, that I can see from here with my grainy glasses and stuff on. But let's see where we end up here. Air drying there to get her started. As you can see, the coverage is pretty nice. Again, another air drying. But yeah, you can see it's a little grainy underneath where you can still see the primer and stuff. So that's why we're going for another coat here. But like I said, all that's on there now was that first round, just like we're doing now. About the same, you know. 2 or 3 passes, move on for a little bit, 2 or 3 passes. Hopefully I got that camera right and you can actually see what I'm doing here. Really don't care about overspray because this is going to get the red, and this stuff, like I said, stands out and smooths off nicely with the steel wool. Just lay down a nice coat, dry it down. Hit it again. You see how much brighter and even that is now? And it's barely using any of the paint. Excuse me, any of the inks. Oh, how about we not be a dummy? I'm sitting here talking to you guys. Never put my mask up. I could explain why, there we go. Probably not a great thing to be reading all this stuff, huh? But anyway, mask is up, and put the glasses down. There we go. All right, now we got our shit together. Back to paint. Every once in a while, you want to blast out and clean up anything that's building up in the brush. Still working on getting my fine motor controls with this new brush setup. I may have the tension on the trigger set a little too light, but you get used to it. Hopefully you can see enough on the camera. You can see the coverage going on and how it evens out and gets bright. A little tip drying because my trigger control is pretty crappy when I first start. But it is what it is. Anyway, the cup's almost empty, so we're going to shoot just a little bit that's left, and I'm going to call that part of filming done because I don't think you guys want to listen to me hacking and gacking with this cold through this whole process. So I'll come back when this is done, show you that, and we're ready to start with the next. Yeah, it should be just about out. It is that. So, I'm gonna shut the camera off, and I'll come back when this is all caught up. If I don't trip over everything first. All right, we are back. Got the white is now all done. Just need to let it sit overnight before I can hit that with the 4/0 steel wool. But it's got great coverage all the way around. What I'm planning on doing is leaving like 1/8 of an inch on either side, keeping the center white. Front part's going to be red, back part's going to be black with the gold stripes. So that's the body right now. So we're going to let that sit, and I'm not going to pester that so I don't mess it up till tomorrow. And I've got the headstock all taped up. So I'm going to put some white paint in the gun, and I'm going to shoot that real quick. So here we go. Let me get this body out of the way first, and we'll go from there. Okay, the glasses on, my mask on, my bald head in the picture here. So let's get to getting. I don't think we're going to need much more than that. See if I can move this stuff around without spilling everything. Alright, here we go. Put the gear down. I should probably move over here in the camera so we can see it. Don't get old and get shaky. Oh yeah, it's one thing I forgot to talk about. When you're painting a headstock like this, if you're only doing one side, make sure you fill your holes with some tissue or something, because when you're spraying the front, it'll draft through those holes and it swirls around the back, and you'll get so much overspray on the back it's not even funny. I ran into that problem with the redoing the headstock on a Les Paul with the silver. Sprayed the headstock all black. I had it all happy. Started spraying the silver in on the front, and the silver just drafted right around it and got all over black in the back. Didn't make for a fun week. So I'm not trying to cover it all super fast. This stuff dries quick enough that you can evaporate it off with just a little bit of air after you're done. No need to go heavy. Hope this isn't too boring, too much like watching paint dry. Oh, wait, we are watching paint dry. Well, anyway, let's keep going with this. And it's small enough I could probably just finish this out and be done with this and then finish the video. Hope you guys are liking the idea. Mini Van Halen guitar. Takes longer to tape these off than it does to actually shoot the paint. Can anybody catch the tape mistake I made? I just noticed it. Actually, there's two of them. But, is what it is. It's painted. I'm not going to mess with it. Probably give this about 10 minutes to dry, and then I'll pull the tape off, and we'll have a reveal. Alright. Let that sit. And clean my brush out. And come back after the unmasking. Alright, let's see how good or how bad we ended up doing here. White looks like it's got really good coverage on there. So I think you're going to sit down here and I'm going to pull all this tape off and see what the edges look like. So far so good. Don't look like there's any getting underneath the tape. Oh yeah. We'll take that. So we can see the first mistake that I made. But you know what? We're going to leave it there. Because we ain't perfect. This guitar ain't perfect. It didn't start out perfect. And it's basically a kid's thing. So we're going to call that relict. How about that? We're going to call it relict. Doesn't look like the masking tape is going to leave too much of a residue on the yeah, that's the line I was worried most about. Worried about that. Let's pull it from this side here. I was worried about that one just peeling up with the tape because it's so thin. Overall, I think I is very, very happy with this. What do you guys think? I know, boring as hell, but we're almost done. Come on. And we're to the point my back is starting to bug me from leaning forward, so this will be a good time for a break after this is done. But there we have it. Oh, a little bit of overspray there. That should come, yeah, that'll rub off the clear with just a fingernail, so I ain't too worried there either. Now we'll see how good that the ink stays with the tape on that. Let's get back in the frame. See how good that black ink stayed with the tape on there, or if it pulls up with it. There you go. That answers that question. It stayed. So, a couple more pieces and we'll inspect it up close, and I'll get ready to post this. Oh yeah, just enough around the edges to give you a reminder it's there. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, you see the gecko blocks there. How many of you are making good use of your gecko blocks? Those things are awesome. A little bit of cleanup to do on it, not much, but hopefully I was doing that on getting it in the camera view, so. But all in all, I think that's going to pop under clear. Yeah, you can see the edges there. You got the little bit of overhang, like a factory job. I do have some cleanup to do right there, and maybe some razor edge scraping to get some, like, right up on that one too. But for the most part, I am seriously happy with that. That turned out freaking good. So, alright, onward and upward. I'll get this together and post it, and then come back for the body part.